Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, what time you're watching this. So today's video, I'm going to go through full upper body warm-up. It's quite comprehensive because I've had a couple of operations on my shoulder, so I need to make sure everything's warmed up well. I had a torn pec, a torn bicep, and something called a LaserJet procedure, which I'll talk about in another video, but the point is that it means that I need to do a lot to make sure this is all warmed up and ready to do the normal training. I'm not going to speed up the normal parts of this, so you can follow along at the same time if you want to. The only thing I will speed up are the stretches because no one wants to stand and watch that. So what you'll need, some kind of thin resistance band and broomstick or just a normal stick. I'll put links in the description where you can get the ones that we use. We'll use a thick band, but I'll show alternatives to doing the stuff that we do with that. Enjoy. So the first thing I like to do is give my shoulders a very quick stretch. So if you've got a thick resistance band, attach it to something high up. If not, I'll show the alternatives to these using a wall. So you can put your hand through the band, take hold of the band, and then walk forwards, push your chest forwards. You should feel it stretching under your arm, down into your lap. Hold this position for a minute is what I normally do when I'm warming up. If I was doing it at the end of the session, I do it for about 2 minutes. Okay, so the second one, same band, and turn so that the band's pulling laterally to the side. You feel this more into your lap. Again, just a minute. I like to do this first to make sure there's nothing sort of jamming up the shoulder joint, just making sure, put some pressure in through the shoulder. Might get some pops and cracks, but I find it's quite a nice way to ease myself into training. And I'm going to repeat those both on the other side. Okay, so now that both sides are done for that, you take the same band again, hands through, take hold of the band, step away, kneel down, and then push chest towards the ground and pushing towards this armpit, letting the band pull the shoulder. Again, holding this for a couple of minutes. And then for the next one, same position with the band, and turn the other way. So this time the band will be stretching across the front of the shoulder and the chest. Press your body weight forwards into this. This is probably my favourite stretch for the chest, and it opens up everything in the front of the shoulder. Again, a minute or so on each side. So for the next one, you need some kind of bench or elevated surface and that broomstick that I mentioned, or if not, do it like in the video I'm going to put alongside this. So I take hold of the broomstick, roughly shoulder width apart, hands facing towards, elbows on the bench, and then you're going to push your chest down towards the ground. When doing this, I like to do the first minute keeping my back flat, and then the second minute I'll let my lower back sink into the ground, and I'll bring the stretch on more under the arms. For timing these intervals, I find if you use the WOD Timer app, it's really helpful. Set it to 10 minutes and then you have a minute to do the stretch on each side, so that's 8 minutes in total, and then the last 2 minutes you spend on the front rack stretch, which is the last one I showed you. So you get a nice beep like this. What this means then is you're not faffing about between each exercise. Your stretch will be about 58, 59 seconds rather than the 4 minute, but I find it helps to get everything done in time. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to start using the band. I said about this in my full day of training. I like to split this up and stand on something with my foot at the same time to get a calf stretch. So, foot on the block, and then with the band, keeping your arms straight, shoulders back. I'm going to do 25 band pull aparts. Okay, after 25 at chest height, and you then go to just above eye level, and again 25 of these. If the band's too easy, wrap your hands around it a bit further. If it's not quite hard, if it's too hard, loosen your hands. And then finally 25 behind the head. Okay, for the next part, I'm going to use the broomstick if you've got it, and if you're flexible enough. If not, you can use the same band, go all the way around and behind your back 10 times. I like to use the broomstick and gradually over time work my hands in narrower. So 10 broomstick dislocations. Okay, now it's done. Give your arm a little bit of a shake, and then you're going to swap the foot. Just put the pressure on your calf again, and then do the same thing all over again. So 25 pull-aparts at chest level. You don't have to stretch your calf at the same time. I just find it, it's just a better use of time. Okay, and then 25 again, just above eye level. And then 25 again behind the head. And then second lot of 10 dislocations. I think that was 10. Okay, that's everything we need the broomstick for. You can get rid of that now. So for the next thing, you need to attach your band to something. Ideally, you want it to be a bit above eye level, but if not, anything eye level or even lower if you need to. Just something that's going to be secure for the band. Okay, so take hold of the band, step back until there's a little bit of tension on it, and then we're going to do some band stars. So arms straight in 5 directions like a star. And there's going to be 10 of these in total. Okay, give your shoulders a bit of a shake out if you need to. If you need to have a rest during any of this, that's fine. So the next thing I'm going to do, arms straight, I'm going to go overhead as far back as you can. You're going to do 10 circles, just moving at the shoulder joint, not bending your arms. And then 10 circles the other way around. Okay, again, relax your shoulders, and then you're going to do 10 behind the neck presses with the band. So take the band behind your head, 10 reps. Okay, now that we've done that, you're going to turn around, take the band out the other way, and do the same stuff. Walk the band out forwards this time, and from here, again, with your arms straight, you're going to do 10 circles, and then 10 circles the opposite direction. And then from here, again, 10 behind the neck presses. So for the next thing, you're going to take your band down, and you want the band to be, now it wants to be around waist height if possible. Okay, so you step away, and then from here, you keep your elbow tucked in, your shoulder down, and pull your hand out to the side. 10 reps. These are the kind of things you might see when you go to the physio. The important thing when you're doing this is to keep your shoulder down and back, and your elbow doesn't move. And then 10 on the other side as well. So shoulder down and back. And then now we're going to do the opposite of that. So taking the band and pulling it across your body. Again, trying to keep your shoulder down and back and your elbow in place. And then the other side. Still using that lower band, and take hold of it with 2 hands now. And from here, you're going to pull your elbow to the side, lift your arms up, then press overhead. Then reverse that motion. So, row, rotate, press. Again, 10 reps. When you rotate, you're trying to keep your elbows at the same height. So when you rotate, I don't want you to do this. I want to be elbows back, then rotate, then press. Thing you're going to do is called north, south, east, west. So all the movement's going to come from your shoulder blades. So north, shrugging your shoulders up. South is pushing them away from your ears. East is bringing them as far forward as you can. And west is pulling them back as far as possible. So you're going to go through that 10 times. So up, down, forwards, backwards. Just as I was going through that, I watched the film back. You can really see the difference between my 2 sides, how uneven they are. I'll put a picture up here of just how lopsided my shoulders were when I first had the second operation done, which was, I don't know, about 5 years ago. It's gradually getting better, but there is still a difference inside. So that's why we want to do this sort of stuff, to try and make both sides even and try not to end up having to have any surgeries or operations. Next thing, we're going to do some scapular press-ups. The important thing when you're doing these is to keep your shoulders away from your ears. So, in a press-up position, you're going to shrug your shoulders forwards and then pull them back. When I say keep them away from your ears, I mean don't want this kind of action to be happening. You want your shoulders down and back, and then pressing. Just 10 reps. It's too hard to do it in a full press up. Go into a kneeling position or do it on a wall or a block or something, and the same action. Trying to keep your arms straight, all the movement through your shoulder blades. So next thing is hanging from the bar, and then let yourself relax completely, then shrug your shoulders up, just 10 reps. That's the end of the general upper body warm-up that I do before any session. Next, I'm going to do to warm up my wrists and hands and forearms when I'm doing handstand type work. But if it was weightlifting, for example, then I'd go grab a bar and start doing some stuff towards that. If it was stuff on the rings, I'd do some ring rows, ring dips. So really the next part depends on what the rest of the session is. And hopefully this has been helpful. If you want to see more things like this, press the subscribe button, like, share with your friends, all that good stuff. So we're doing this still. And thanks for watching.